Did you catch last night's update? If you didn't, have no fear. Literally nothing happened, at least in the game. But some peeps snooped around in the game's code and found a few developer comments that could spell very big changes coming to CS in the near future. Hello all, welcome back to Debate. This is a series in which we take, community speculation, ideas about the market, the game, whatever it may be, and we discuss it here in a nice open forum. For it is dialogue that pushes the envelope forward. We do take community submissions. If you want to submit an idea, QR code right here, scan it. It'll bring you to a Google form. You just fill it out really quickly. Although it does have to be pretty fleshed out if you want me to use the actual topic. We will have a live stream tonight in which we discuss this topic at hand. And if you stick around, I might show you a little sneak peek at the new website. It will be the HLTV for skins. We will change the game. So last night, very small update ships. One line of patches and it's just fucking computer jargon for we did nothing. But we got some tweets from the guys who snoop out the game's code, and they found some interesting comments. The first comment of which reads, keeping old mission tokens until we could do the full dance of getting a new client and GC out. Now people saw the words mission tokens and lost their fucking cool. Holy shit, new operation. Everybody's foaming at the mouth, freaking out about a new operation potentially coming out. Most of them stopped reading after the words mission tokens, but there's a lot of stuff in that sentence that can help us speculate on the future of the game. So we got mission tokens, that's one. We got game client, that's two, and GC, game coordinator, three. That's three distinct parts of the game's infrastructure, and the wording of it and the way that the sentence is structured could tell us about the sequence of events that is coming to us in Counter-Strike. Not just where they're going with the game, but the order in which they're getting there. So I had to do a little bit of research here, but the GC, or game coordinator, that's like the plumbing. It's the inner workings of the game. Matchmaking, your inventory, stat tracking, all of that shit. They ain't rebuilding plumbing or infrastructure for fun, let me tell you. It's probably going to set the scene for some decent changes coming to the game. What those may be, who knows? But it does spell out very good things. Probably had similar changes to how the inventory worked before the Armory update. Pretty much a massive overhaul to how items are retrieved in-game. And with that Armory update, it begs the question. It's not if an operation is coming, it's does Valve have any incentive to release an operation? How are you people not realizing? The Armory is the operation. It's doing what operations have done, just without the label. Right, let's think about operations in CSGO. You paid for a pass, you did stupid fucking missions, and you got access to the new collections they added like every 1 or 2 operations. Bloodhound, they released Gods and Monsters, Rising Sun. 2019, you had the Norse, Canals, the fucking Wild Lotus one. And then in Broken Fang, you had the Control and Havoc collections. They used to be in the form of weekly drops, but in the later operations, the operation system worked pretty much perfectly in line with what the Armory is right now. You get stars by doing missions or you buy them outright, and then you redeem it for whatever the hell you want from the list of shit offered in the operation pass. Mind you, that's exactly what the Armory does right now, minus the missions. $15.99, you buy however many passes you want, so you can't necessarily buy the stars, or you could buy more stars per unit of time played. And instead of having a storefront 6 months out of the year, you have a permanent storefront that rotates collections intermittently. The only thing missing right now are the missions and the fucking coin that you get for doing the mission, as well as the whole marketing event behind it. But we still kind of have seasons already. They're just called season 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Valve is making more money than they did without those things. An operation is a pop-up shop. Sure, it creates urgency, but it caps Valve's revenue to the duration the event lasts. Sure, the Armory itself is a permanent storefront, but the collections aren't. That creates the same amount of urgency. No expiration and a continuous rotation, as opposed to taking all of it out and then putting a whole new laundry list of items in the game with the next operation. So that's better for Valve as well. So instead of taking all of it out and then having to put a whole brand new list of items in, they could just take out the underperformers, and the ones that do really well, they can keep in there for longer, right? They took out graphic design, they left sport and field in there, they've been in there for the same amount of time. One is just more popular than the next. Had that been an operation, they would have had to remove both. Imagine if Operation Shattered Web was in CS2. Imagine if the collections from Shattered Web were just in the Armory. Wild Lotus, Norse collection, St. Mark collection, they ain't leaving, right? The Gungnir supply would have been crazy high. And yes, it wouldn't be 20 grand anymore because it's in the Armory, but that's better for Valve. If it's under 2 grand, then they could sell it on the Steam market. They make money off of it that way too. The operation system is just inferior to the Armory. But if the Armory is the operation, in essence, then what are the mission tokens for? Well, the code doesn't reference new mission tokens. They reference that they're bringing back or migrating the old ones from CSGO, I imagine. So they're not building anything from scratch here. They're just bringing back something old and then implementing it in a new way, probably. Now, Valve added the weekly missions in CS2, which helps you earn XP and get the weekly drop you're afforded once a week. But it's kind of a bare bones system. It's not very fleshed out. One mission at a time. Once the mission's over, you get no new ones till 7 days later. It doesn't tie into any other systems. So there's a lot of work that could be done there. So what I think this datamine suggests, and again, this is an inference, I don't know the fucking future. I think that Valve is going to implement the mission tokens to run in tandem with the Armory, right? A set of weekly missions, maybe like 3. That'd be cool. More than 1. Maybe a set of weekly missions such that when you complete them, you just like earn a whole star on the Armory pass. So if you play the weekly missions, you increase your rate at which you earn the stars. If you stack Armory passes, then you get a fuck ton of stars. And Valve makes a bunch of money from all the fucking passes you're buying. And since you can't buy the stars outright like you could in the operations, you're also playing the game. Why would Valve bring back the shitty inferior operation to that? That seems way more likely. Right? And we still have no idea what that code was suggesting Armory bidding, because there's code for that in the game files as well. If you want players to bid on shit, well then you need the people to have a decent amount of stars in their inventory to actually bid and auction and actually win. It helps, create an ecosystem of an economy inside of the game's client itself. So the money can't really escape. It can only be brought in through buying Armory Pass. And before what I think that could do to our economy, quick word from UUSkins, our sponsor. UUSkins offers the verified lowest rates for pretty much every single gun in the game, charm, sticker, whatever you want, UUSkins has got it. It is direct access to the Chinese marketplaces, no middleman, no VPN, none of the headache involved with getting workarounds in place to get to these sites. Buy play skins at a low cost, arbitrage, and the amount of listings makes every single other marketplace look bare bones in comparison. So if you're on the hunt for a sticker craft for a gun, or you want to snipe an ultra low float listing that hasn't been bought yet, UUSkins is the website for you. Don't take my word for it, ask around in the comments in the community, they'll tell you, or just scan the QR code for yourself and check it out. You'll get your guns within 10 hours or your money back, and with higher barriers to sell from these Chinese inventories, your risk of reversal goes down exponentially. This is really the only option for purchasing skins on the Counter-Strike market. Back to the video. Now, in another line of code that kind of, was lost to the mission token hype was the storage unit change. The new text prompt reads, "You have too many storage units. Contact Steam support to buy another one." Well, right now the theoretical cap is 999 storage units per account. So you can hold maximum around 1 million items in your account. So for most of us, it's gonna be pretty much an irrelevant change. Like 10 units is plenty for 99% of the people. But for the 1% of, bulk traders and people who buy a bunch of random shit, I guess it can hurt them. Maybe something to crack down on bot farming. I don't know the exact reasoning behind this. Unless the cap on storage units is like 2, then it might be a problem. Maybe they just want these guys holding, thousands and thousands of dollars in storage units to, not hoard these items, or if they do hoard these items, they're gonna need multiple accounts and thus pay Valve $15 for each account they open. Those are the only really things I can make of it. They have already kind of placed a bottleneck with the trade reversal update because you can't move it into a storage unit until after the 7 days. So transferring items throughout accounts might be harder, it might take longer, which could hurt, I guess, in theory, manipulation buying. Because if you're buying off third-party websites, you can only buy max 1,000 items. And if your account has only 4 storage units maximum, then you can't just hoard. And if you do hoard, it's going to be much of a bigger operation because you're going to need multiple accounts all set up with Prime, so it could be harder. Maybe the increased inventory sizes are posing performance issues, who knows? But that's for the code. And look, I know some of you are going to sit here and be like, yeah, but I want an operation. What you want is to go back in time. You want operations because your life was easier when operations were out. You were in high school or in middle school playing with your boys at 3 a.m. It's not the operation, it's a period in your life that you miss, and you're projecting it onto a content drop. Look at operations in a vacuum and take away the only thing that made them good, the collections that came with them. You have a list of missions that cost $16 to complete. That is a basic feature in any other game. If you want to get 5 kills with a Nova in community map arms race games, have fucking fun. Turn your bronze coins silver. I don't give a shit. And I'm telling you, the novelty of doing those missions to redeem collections is going to be much, much less rewarding when the Armory is there 24/7, 365. It's the same way most of you have fucking CSGO and rose-tinted glasses for whatever reason. That game sucked for 6 years. You couldn't play matchmaking. You couldn't play matchmaking in that game above Legendary Eagle. You just got fucking spin botted on every game. You had to play on ESEA or Faceit or Civo or whatever the fuck they had back then. I'm willing to bet there's less cheaters right now than there were back in CSGO. You're just a bitch about it. And now, since we're a couple years out, nostalgia is sanding down those rough edges. CS2 is going through the same growing pains, and I don't want to hear your fucking voice when CS3 is out. You're talking about the good old days of CS2. You're just inside of it right now in the present moment. It doesn't feel like nostalgia yet, but it will. So savor the current moment for a goddamn second, will ya? So let's see if an operation comes out. I guess it wouldn't be a bad thing, right? More content, I guess, is fine. But it's going to be much less fun and rewarding when the Armory is there and has always been there, and it's probably just going to tie directly into the Armory. I'd rather them focus on cool new game modes. Scouts Knives should be in the game. Surf should be an official game mode so you can earn stars while doing it. That seems like a no-brainer. And the missions can be, surf for 10 minutes instead of win 4 rounds on fucking DE Warden. It just doesn't make any sense to me. If you disagree with me, please leave a comment below. I would love to ignore your comment. It is speculation after all. So the only thing we can do and I can do is wait and see what happens. Peace.